You check your phone. No new messages. You post a photo, then you check again. Minutes later, you look for likes, comments, or some tiny sign that someone noticed you. It feels modern, but the real answer is far stranger. Your need for validation did not begin with social media. It began hundreds of thousands of years ago on open grasslands where being ignored could be deadly. Back then, your ancestors survived in small groups. Alone, a human was weak. No sharp claws, no great speed, no thick fur. Survival depended on belonging. What happened if you were pushed outside the group? For your ancestors, exclusion often meant death. A lone human struggled to find food, defend against predators, or care for children. Acceptance was not simply pleasant, it was essential. Your brain evolved to treat social approval as a survival signal. Even today, that ancient alarm system still operates beneath modern life. Psychologist Roy Baumeister spent decades studying the human need to belong. His research suggested that forming and maintaining strong social bonds is one of your most fundamental motivations. You do not merely enjoy connection. Your brain expects it. When those bonds weaken, discomfort appears. Why does criticism sometimes hurt physically? Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger discovered something remarkable. Using brain scans, her studies showed that social rejection activates some of the same neural regions involved in physical pain. Your brain partially treats exclusion like injury. This explains why a harsh comment can linger for years while a minor cut is forgotten within days. Long before cities, jobs, and smartphones existed, your ancestors constantly monitored how others viewed them. A damaged reputation could reduce cooperation, mating opportunities, and protection. Individuals who cared deeply about social standing often survived and passed on their genes. Over thousands of generations, sensitivity to approval became woven into human psychology. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar proposed that humans evolved unusually large social brains because managing relationships became increasingly important. According to Dunbar's research, your brain expanded partly to track alliances, friendships, and social obligations. You are, in many ways, a relationship processing machine. Could this ancient adaptation now be working against you? Modern technology exposes your ancient social brain to something entirely new. Your ancestors interacted with perhaps 150 people during their lives. Today, you may compare yourself with thousands before breakfast. Every notification becomes a possible signal of acceptance. Every silence can feel strangely significant. Social media platforms amplify this process. Likes, hearts, and shares arrive unpredictably. Sometimes you receive many, sometimes almost none. Psychologists call this variable reward. It resembles the reward schedule studied extensively by B.F. Skinner, where unpredictable reinforcement powerfully shapes behavior. Your brain keeps checking because the next reward might appear at any moment. Validation also helps construct identity. You learn who you are partly through other people. Developmental psychologist Lev Vygotsky argued that much of human thinking develops through social interaction. From childhood onward, reactions from parents, friends, and communities help shape your beliefs about yourself. If others consistently praise your creativity, you may begin to see yourself as creative. If others dismiss you, doubt can grow. Yet there is a paradox. External validation feels necessary, but it rarely feels sufficient. A compliment creates relief. Then the feeling fades. Soon, you seek another signal. Why? Because your brain evolved for ongoing social monitoring, not permanent satisfaction. In ancestral environments, constantly updating social information improved survival. The system was designed to remain active. Complete certainty about social acceptance would have been dangerous because relationships constantly changed. Research by psychologist Mark Leary suggests that self-esteem functions partly as a sociometer, an internal gauge measuring perceived social inclusion. When acceptance rises, self-esteem rises. When rejection threatens, self-esteem drops, encouraging behaviors that restore connection. But modern life allows this ancient gauge to become overloaded. Endless comparison, public metrics, and constant exposure to curated lives can convince your brain that you are falling behind even when you are thriving. Seeking validation is not a flaw. It is an evolutionary inheritance. The challenge is recognizing when an ancient survival system is responding to a modern world it was never designed to navigate. So, the next time you check your phone for signs that someone noticed you, remember, your ancestors were doing something surprisingly similar. They were simply looking around the campfire, making sure they still belonged.